What's up, y'all? So before we get into today's story time, you already know I gotta remind you that my channel is a judgment-free zone and everybody's entitled to their own views and opinions. So please keep it cute and kind in the comment section. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I'm Brittney LaCree, and today I have a story time for you guys. Y'all know that I'm the queen of story time. So today we're gonna be talking about the time that my best friend turned on me. Y'all, she tried me. She really did. So before we get into this story time, please read the story time disclaimer on this screen. Please note that I do not have any contact with this person. This person doesn't have any contact with me. This happened years and years ago. It doesn't affect any of our lives now, any of our present life or anything like that. So I just wanted to share with you guys this story time so you can kind of see, like, if you're in a situation with your best friend that you need to be watching. So we're gonna call this girl Amy, okay, y'all? So I met Amy on the set of one of my shows that I worked on. She was a production assistant and she was like amazing help, like absolutely amazing. So she and I like got close or whatever and started talking, and she was like, I've been wanting to move here. And I was like, you should, like, you know, actually she was driving in from another state, and I was like, girl, you're driving in, like, and this is an unpaid project, girl, if you don't, you know, stay in my house, like, whatever. So I think the first time she stayed at my house was like I had just moved into like this basement apartment thing. And I think it was probably like a wreck. And she didn't even judge me. Like, it was so, like, it was cool. Like, she was amazing. And usually my house, like, if I'm filming or writing or something, my house is crazy. And then I have to, like, pay somebody to clean it up or whatever. It's crazy. But now I keep my life very clean and simple. But anyway, let's go back to the story. So she was cool. She came over and then she was like, yeah, I'm thinking about moving here. I was like, move in with me and like see if you like it and let's whatever. So we moved in, we edited together, and then she taught me how to edit, y'all. Like, I credit Amy for all my editing skills. Like, I've gotten better and like way more talented, but like she taught me how to edit, and I absolutely cannot thank her enough for that. Like, I can't. So she was just really sweet, really amazing with casing. Like, there was a time where like I just sat on the couch, like, I don't know what I was going through and what I was doing, but I was just watching Grey's Anatomy, and she was like helping me with casing and stuff like that. Like, it was really sweet of her. And so she ended up, like, we both couldn't find jobs, so we were like, we're gonna do something different, you know what I'm saying? So she went back home, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna move to another state. And so I moved to another state. She was like, I'm down to go. So she moved too. Now, I knew her parents. I felt like her parents was a little bit silly because when I did all the work to try to get us into the apartment and all this kind of stuff, because, like, you know, that's me. I'm gonna go get her. I'm a natural leader. Like, I'm gonna do everything I have to do. So we start going to so I'm doing all the lease stuff and all that kind of stuff, and then her mom's like, I guess her mama and her daddy or whoever was telling her, like, because I needed all her information for the apartment. This was like my first sign that like her family was kind of silly. But like, I needed all her information for the lease, and she was like, well, no, you give it to me. First, I was like, first of all, bitch, I don't even want to steal your stuff. Like, and if I'm going to steal somebody's stuff, I'm not going to steal somebody who's my age. Like, who would do that? Like, if you're going to steal, you're going to scam a millionaire or something, like, dummy. But anyway, I was like, I'm not, whatever. I'm not like that. I don't want to steal anybody's identity. I don't want anything anybody got. So I was like, well, I'll give you my social security stuff and all that kind of stuff, and then you can do it. So it was cool, it was fine, whatever. So that was my first like sign. But you know what, before this, my cousin met her, and my cousin was like, don't trust her, like, something's not right in her eyes. And I was like, no, she has beautiful eyes, like, whatever. Y'all know that I used to have a problem with not listening to people when they told me not to trust somebody, because I don't like to do that. Like, I don't like to judge people before I get to know them. You know what I'm saying? And she was amazing to me, you know? And so my cousin was just like, I don't know, something about her eyes I just really don't trust. Like, something's off with her. Just something's off. So anyway, so like we move into the place and all that kind of stuff, and everything's going okay. I ended up having to quit my job because it was costing me more money to work because of the after school care and all this kind of stuff, and I wasn't making any money at that job. It was just really crazy. So I quit, and I was like doing Uber Eats, and then like, but Uber Eats like slowed down and it wasn't enough, so I was like trying to find another job. So So during that time, like, I was really behind on my rent. Like, I mean, like, I was like, every month I had to borrow it from somebody. Like, I hate borrowing money. Like, I hate it. Like, if y'all know, like, how that is to, like, be so humbled to have to borrow money, but you're like, okay, I'm looking for a job and all this kind of stuff. But I was still living my best life, even though, you know, I was struggling, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, every month it was like, to the day they were like, okay, we'll give you an extension, but you have to pay it this month. And I would always have it like that day, or like, you have to pay it this day. They would tell me you have to pay it this day, so I would always have it like that day. And so whatever I had to do, whoever I had to ask, like, I always had it. So I went to, like, so we were down to and everything was cool. Like, my son had like did something to her chair, but she was really cool. Like, I told her some confidential things that never ever got out. Like, she was my ace, y'all. Like, I remember one time I went to a party, and I don't really drink like that, and so I was taking shots, but I did not know that shots catch up to you. That's how, like, I think I might have had my first like real drink at like 28 or something like that. Like, I don't drink like that. So I was drinking shots, and I was like not realizing, oh, these shots gonna catch up to you. Then I remember, like, somebody was like, oh, like, here's a Rice Krispie treat or something, and I didn't realize, like, it wasn't just a regular Rice Krispie treat. So I took the Rice Krispie treat, whatever. I like Rice Krispie treats, you know. Anyway, so I was messed up, and I remember I was texting her, and then, like, I text her something, I don't know, and she knew I was like messed up. So all I know is the next morning I was like, text her or whatever, like, I had threw up. It was really, really bad. Like, y'all, I'm not even proud of that moment. Like, I looked a mess, and I hope there's no video evidence or anything about that, because I looked a mess. Oh my God. So she came over the next day. I told her I was like kind of hungover, and she came over, y'all. She bathed me. She got me in the shower. She helped me to go to the restroom. Like, this girl, like, helped me. She did my hair. She did I think my eyebrows. She made me look refreshed. Like, she was amazing, to the point where, like, everybody thought that she liked me. Like, that's how much this girl was there for me. And Amy, like, she was just an amazing person. Like, I loved being around her. Like, we had a lot of fun. But like, I would have did the same for Amy, though. Like, yeah, I would have did the same for her. Like, if somebody told me that she had to break a bone, or I broke a bone, like, I would take the broken bone for Amy. Like, that's how much, like, she was my ace, y'all. Like, I was always putting stuff about her on my Instagram stories and things like that. So going back into like, we're living together, and like the rent stuff. And so it frustrates her, and I know it does. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm working on getting a job. And while I was working on getting a job, I got her a gig, like a weekend gig or whatever, that she really, really enjoyed. So, like, that was kind of cool. Just like seeing her do that and all that kind of stuff. So, like, we were supporting each other. And we were like, I was supporting her editing. Like, she's a dope ass editor. So I was supporting her. Watching her, like, editing stuff, and just, like, really just, like, I loved her so much. Like, so deep in my soul, I loved her. And I thought that she felt the same. There was a couple of times that were kind of weird. Like, I remember, like, one time, you know, we were at a party, and she got, like, really, really upset because she was like, everybody always talks to you, nobody talks to me. And she was crying, and I was like, maybe it's because she's been drinking, but she was like, nobody ever talks to me, everybody talks to you, you got all the attention, and I want somebody to look at me like so-and-so looks at you, and I want somebody to love me like so-and-so loves you. And I was like, no, you don't want my situation, honey. But anyway, so she was like, you know, kind of just, that was kind of weird to me, because I was like, I kind of felt a little bit like, why are you saying that? Like, you're a beautiful girl. Like, why are you saying, like, you just want to be like me, like, when people talk to me? Like, I'm just a natural person that people talk to. That's just my personality, you know? And so, another thing is, like, I bought somebody else some shoes, and then she tells me, like, well, you didn't do that for my birthday. You just took me to Chili's. And so, it was kind of like, damn, girl, I didn't even know you felt like that, you know? Like, you didn't, I'm sorry, like, at that point. And so anyway, and then, like, she got mad because I won some money, and I won the money to go on the cruise. Well, at this time, I was about to get a job. On the cruise, I was expecting the call for me to, like, do the interview and all that stuff, but I knew I had the job because it was the inside thing that somebody had referred me, and so I pretty much had the job. So I was like, I can go on this trip because this is my last time to kind of be able to take off for a while, because when I start this new job, I'm not going to be able to take off any, probably like for a whole 6 months or to a year. So I went on the cruise, and she was like, well, like, you be struggling with your rent, but you can go on this cruise. And I was like, well, I won this cruise money at the casino, but I understand what you're saying, but you know, I got a job in the works, so now I'm not going to be struggling with my rent. So a little bit after the cruise, I was like, you know, I know that you've been really stressed out about me not being able to pay on time and things like that. I said, you know, when I get this job and when it's all secure and everything, I'm going to just, I think there's a paper I can sign, because I'm probably going to be making enough money to where, like, I can put the lease just in my name. So for this last month we got to pay, like, you don't even got to worry. Like, you already know, like, everything's on me, everything's good, you know. And I was like, and then I wanted to get the carpet clean, because me and Kason had been living there, and I was like, I want to get the carpet clean, because I had like I think he was like 3 or 4 at the time. So of course there was like things on the carpet or whatever. So I was like, I don't want that to be on her. Like, I don't want that to come out of her deposit money, you know. Like, I want everything to come out of my deposit money. Y'all know, like, I'm always thinking about the other person. Like, that's just me. And she was the type that would think about the other person too. So like, we clicked really well. So I was just like, you know, I'll sign the paper to get everything in my name, so you're good to go. Like, you don't have to worry about your deposit or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just want to let you know that, like, I'm gonna pay my part, you're gonna pay your part, and we're gonna be good. And so I thought we were gonna move together the next year too, because I got a job and everything. So I started working the job, and it was not what they told me. It was not what I expected with pay. It was not anything. Like, I was supposed to be in the office, and I was like scrubbing mold from like houses and stuff like that. I was like, no, that is not what I signed up to do. So I quit that job, and I was like, no, I'm gonna look for another job. And at this point, like, I was already applying to other jobs and getting some interviews and things like that. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get something soon. So during the course of me, like, the week that I started the new job, like, she's like, she wasn't even acting shady or anything, but y'all, she was plotting the whole time. And this is what pisses me off. If she was plotting and she didn't even come and talk to me before it, you know. So she was like, are you gonna sign the paper? I was like, yeah. But then I quit the job, and so I couldn't sign the paper, the lease over to me, because it wouldn't prove that I made enough money to you got to prove that you make enough money to be able to put the lease just in your name. So I was like, so the day that I was coming home to tell her, like, hey, I can't sign that paper, she tells me, hey, I'm moving out. And I'm like, okay, like, what about, you know, rent next month or whatever? I think it was our last month, and I was like, well, what about rent or whatever? And I can't do that by myself. So you're gonna just move out and then pay it? It was y'all. She blindsided me, because I knew she had plotted to do this. Like, she wanted me to sign that paper so she could be scot-free and just leave me with all the rent. That is fucked up, okay? That's so fucked up. So anyway, so I would never do that to her. So anyway, she was plotting this whole time for me to sign that paper. Well, when I came and I was like, I can't sign that paper. She was like, you need to go to the office on Friday. I'm moving out tomorrow, and you need to go to the office and sign that paper on Saturday or something like that, on tomorrow or something, she said. And I was like, I can't sign the paper. And like, I was like, I can't sign it. And she was like mad about it and pissed about it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not signing that paper to put all the rent in my name. First of all, I can't, because I don't have that job anymore. Second of all, I'm not signing to put it all on me and then for you to leave all the rent to me. No, you signed the lease too. And the only reason why I was going to do it is because I wanted to prove to you that yes, I went on the trip, but I wasn't going to, you know, do anything to your credit or anything like that. You know, I was going to make sure it was paid. And I don't know why I offered to sign the paper. I should have never offered that. That's because my dumb ass being too nice. I used to be too nice. I'm still nice, but I'm careful who I'm nice to. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so she's like, so then she's trying to get the lease people to make me sign the paper. The lease people are calling the old job to verify that I don't work there. And I'm like, even if I do work there, I don't have to sign that paper to put everything in my name. And I was like, so now I'm texting her and I'm like, hey, like, are you going to pay your part of the rent this month? Because honestly, like, I had got a new job and I had either money to stay there or I had money to move. Like, it wasn't going to be both. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and I'm texting her, she's ignoring me. So I'm like, okay, so you are going to you're not gonna pay your part, and then you're gonna leave me in here. And that's no, I'm not gonna even stay in here because I don't want to be in here and all of that. So what I did was I found me another place and I moved. So then after I moved, she wants to come telling me, oh, I'm gonna pay. No, I don't think she did. I think that the leasing agent guy, because she had him out on her side because, oh, poor white girl, you know, and no offense to white people, I love white people, y'all know I love everybody, but it was like, poor white girl, the black girl's attacking her. Like, that's what kind of like they tried to make it look like, and that wasn't what the case was at all. Okay, so she tried to flip the fucking script on me, and then it got flipped on her. It's what happened, because I didn't sign that paper. So she probably should have waited to see if I was going to sign the paper before she did her thing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do me dirty. So anyway, so the leasing guy agent is on her side, and he's like, oh, you're not going to sign the paper. You have that job still. I'm like, no, I don't have that job still. He calls the job, and then I tell him, like, look, I don't have that job because I heard some stuff in the office that I don't like and all that kind of stuff. Well, the leasing agent goes and tells the job that, and then the job sends me a cease and desist letter. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no, like, I heard what I heard, and then I was not liking the job of what y'all had me doing. So no, like, whatever. So my friend decides that she gonna pay her part now because it's gonna go on both of our credits. She realizes without me signing it, she couldn't get me to sign the paper because I wasn't gonna sign it. Even if I did have a job, I wasn't gonna sign it because she tried to fuck me over. But I didn't have the job anymore to be able to sign the paper. So anyway. So after that didn't work, then she was going to pay her part. Well, bitch, I already moved out and I already used my money to move out. So no, I'm not paying this over here. And I was like, the leasing agent guy was trying to make me do it. And I was like, look, you can put it on my credit. I don't give a fuck because I know that when I get to where I need to be, I'm going to be able to pay all that shit off anyway. So I was like, you can put it on my credit. I don't care because I was in this lease. She broke the lease. So they both like, oh, you're not going to pay your part. And I was like, nah, Amy, because I was trying to text you and all this kind of stuff. You were ignoring me. So what did I assume? That you was not going to pay your part. And I didn't have time. I have a kid. So I don't have time to be like, the day on the 1st, do I have a place to stay or do I not? Like, no, I can't do that with a kid. Like, I got to know what I'm doing. And so I moved because I knew I wasn't going to have the whole rent on the 1st. Like, I knew that. I could have my part, but I was not going to have the whole rent. So I ended up moving, and she was like, and I guess she was pissed off because I was like, no, I'm not paying my part over here. I asked you if you were going to pay your part. You ignored me and acted like I was the one doing you dirty. And then now you're mad because I used my money to move so me and my son would have a place and wouldn't be like worried about what we were gonna do the 1st of the month. So she so she was pissed. So I'm guessing that she ended up having to pay the whole however much thousands of dollars it was to get out of to either get out the lease or to the last month of the lease. But I'm like, you know what? I don't even feel bad about that part because you tried to do me dirty. I texted you and asked you, you know, are you gonna pay your part? You know, whatever. And you didn't respond, and you didn't respond for a couple of days. So in that couple of days, you know what my ass did, because I'm a go-getter and I'm very outgoing, I went and found me another place and put my money to that place. So yeah, that's what happened. She tried to fuck me over, and so it was gonna go on her credit and my credit. So I guess for it not to go on her credit, her and her parents did whatever they had to do. But at the end of the day, you can't fuck your friends over. And honestly, y'all, she only had 1 month left. She could have paid her, like, I think it was like $700, whatever. I don't even remember how much it was. But like, you had 1 month left, and then you could have did me dirty. And then what really pissed me off is I was looking at other places, and I was like, hey, I can't sign the lease by myself. I don't make enough, so you're gonna have to sign the lease with me. Y'all, this bitch was planning on never moving in. She said that if I signed the lease, she would be added to the lease later. So this bitch was plotting against me the whole time. And I'm just like, why do that? Why? When you could have just stayed the month and said like, hey, I don't know, like your job really wasn't very secure, and so that made me nervous, so I'm just gonna go move over here, but like I want to be cool. I would have been cool. But what she did was very fucked up, and it was very uncalled for. You know what I'm saying? And it was like one of those things, like, I haven't been hurt in my adult life. Like, I haven't been hurt since I was probably like 20 something, 20 years old, like early 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like early 20s. So like, for her to do this to me, like, that shit hurt me. Like, it hurt me. Like, I think I cried, y'all, because I was just like, why she do that? Like, it was so unnecessary. It really was. She literally could have waited the month. Like, I had a job at that point, like, or like, I either had a job or I had a job like lined up, something. But I knew I was gonna have my rent for the last month or whatever. And so I can't. It's been so long ago. I can't remember if I had already started my new job. I think I had already started my new job. Yeah, I had already started the new job when this happened. Because, yeah, I had. So I knew I was going to have my rent. And so, like, I wasn't worried about the last month or whatever. But, yeah, I guess because they never popped up on my credit. Because, y'all, I used to be like, whatever. Now I got, my credit is, you know, banging. I'm good. I'm getting everything, like, back where I wanted in life and everything. So, but back then I was like, put that shit on my credit. The fuck? I don't care, you know? So yeah, I got done wrong. And then, but you know what, like, even then, like, I loved that girl, and I was like, Kason loves her, and I reached out to her. I was like, Kason loves you, like, he misses you, like, I really wanted to work things out. And I had got a whole bunch of money from an investor for my show, so I wanted to pay her to edit something for me. And like, she never responded, and she like ignores me. But I'm like, bitch, you mad because you had to pay when you're the one who was ignoring me when I was trying to pay my part. And then I used that money to move, and now you mad at me because you had to pay $1,000. I don't know how much you had to pay. Probably our rent, which was like $1,700 or something like that. I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you why. Because you tried to do me dirty, bitch. That's just it. But I love her to death, y'all. Like, I really love Amy. I think Amy's a great person. I hope that she's found somebody who loves her, adores her, because she honestly deserves the world. She really does. And if there was a time that I can talk to her, I would just be like, Amy, you know, you tried to do me dirty. You know, like, and you knew you was doing me dirty. And you knew you was sneaking behind my back and doing sneaky shit to me. Like, you knew you were doing that. And so you can't get mad when it got flipped on you that I couldn't sign the paper. And even if I would have signed it, I wouldn't have at that point, because you tried to do me dirty. What I was trying to do was in good faith to you, but you had ill intentions toward me. So, you know, but I really do love Amy still. Like, she was the best friend I ever had. Like, absolutely love her. Want her to thrive. I know she is. She was very smart, amazing, talented woman. And yeah, so that's the story about how my best friend basically fucked me over. So you guys just be mindful that, you know, your best friends can really fuck you over. Now me, like, I have had a situation where I've had to do somebody dirty, but it was for the greater good. I don't think you should ever do anybody dirty for anything, you know, but she didn't have a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that she can say, like, that would justify what she did to me, you know? Like, I've been backed up in corners where I had to hurt somebody, you know, but I was like, you didn't have no reason. Like, you had no reason to do that, and we only had a month left. So that's kind of where it was with that. But y'all, just you know, be kind, be good to your best friends, be good to them. Don't sneak around, don't be shady. Like, just love them, you know, and be a real friend. Be real, and just, you know, be what they need in their life, and they can be what you need, you know. But just don't do no shady shit to them. And if you're thinking about doing shady shit to them, just know it's probably going to get turned around on you, and karma is real. So, love your friends, guys. And until next time, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.